Welcome to our next edition here of Football Friday with the Buffs, and joining me this week is senior linebacker Hayden Dennis, the senior from San Antonio who last season had 118 tackles, which was eighth most in program history in a single season at West Texas A&M. That tells you something about the year he had. Hayden, how are you doing, buddy? It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
How have you been holding up the last few months with this different time in our life right now?
I've been good. Just got back to Canyon 2 weeks ago, so it's been good. Just kind of bored.
Yeah, a lot of us are feeling that way. What have been some of the biggest challenges for you so far, and then also some opportunities for you during this time when you did not have spring football?
Challenges, I think this was going to be a big learning spring for us, and I wasn't going to be doing anything active this spring for just my shoulder and whatnot, but it stinks not being able to be with the guys and going through everything because we only got 2 practices in. But I mean, it's been good for school. Had a lot of time to focus on everything, and I'm done with school now. But
you're one of the senior leaders, especially for the defense on this team. When I talk about opportunities, maybe some opportunities for you to grow as a leader. How are you communicating with your teammates during this time where you're not together?
I mean, our coaches have done a really good job connecting us. I mean, we do the Zoom meetings weekly, and I mean, I get to talk to a lot of the guys since I've come back to Canyon, like Joseph Radke, Dylan Brunson. I'm seeing them pretty much every day. But I mean, right now we can text each other and everything. So,
how's Joseph doing? Is he growing that hair back out again?
No, hopefully not.
Okay, so Hayden, let's think optimistically. I'm tired of all the negative news. I'm tired of all the things getting canceled. So let's think optimistically. Who knows what the fall camps are going to look like? But again, if we're assuming that we're playing come September, what are going to be the biggest keys for you guys to have success?
Full and complete games. I know sometimes last season we would play a good first 3 quarters and kind of slack off in the fourth, or we'd play pretty bad in the first quarter and then come alive at half. And so I think if we were to play full and complete games and just do our assignments, we'll be good to go.
Hayden, let's talk a little bit about your beginnings and about your career at West Texas A&M, because it's been very interesting. You come to WT in 2015, you're redshirted, and then moving forward from that point, it's been ups and downs. And last season obviously was a lot of ups, and we'll talk more about what you did in 2019. Go back to nearly 6 years ago, coming in as an athletic youngster from San Antonio, and talk about how far you have come as a player and also as a person.
Well, I came in as an athlete. I came in as the A-back, recruited by Coach Lee. And not
a linebacker.
Not a linebacker. And so I was pretty much here to play like a receiver type and snap. And after that first semester, they're like, you want to move to inside linebackers. We had good guys there, like Junior, JQ. And so I was like, of course I want to move over to linebacker. And that was when we brought in Coach Rocco, and he kind of helped me out in the transition. But, yeah, kind of came in differently, and here I am. Who would have thought?
In high school, you did play multiple positions, not just linebacker, but you played positions on the offense. How has that helped you in terms of your craft as a linebacker?
I know how people think and what's going through their mind when they're going through plays like a receiver or whatnot, or a running back trying to block. So I think it just kind of opens your mind a little bit more to the game and helps you understand more. But I know a lot of guys on the team, I mean, a lot of D2 guys come from small schools. So I know a lot of guys have that experience of both ways in high school.
Yeah, Hayden, we talked about the ups and downs, and one of the downs for you was going back to 2018 when you had the devastating injury right before the season's getting ready to start, and you broke your ankle, I believe. Talk a little bit about how you were able to come back from that, not just physically coming back, but also the mental side of dealing with that injury.
Physically, I mean, our trainer, Luke Casper, has done an incredible job getting me right. And, I mean, it takes a while to kind of start trusting it, but eventually you just got to put some faith in it and just go. And it took a while. It took a while to kind of walk normal, run normal. And but mentally, it's a big deal because you think the whole season you're going to be playing, then a week before you're out, and you just want to be out there for your teammates, and you're watching your teammates. So it can be depressing, and it's hard to get through. And I know a lot of guys that go through injuries kind of get a little sad throughout the year. So that can be kind of tough. But I mean, once you start playing football, like during spring ball, it just kind of fades your mind that you're hurt last year, and everything goes back to normal. So didn't really notice it during the season.
You had an incredible season in your junior year. So like you said, the rehab, the training staff, and then also just the work that you put in, it obviously paid off because it showed out on the field. You wear jersey number 44, and I always am interested in jersey numbers. There's sometimes stories behind a jersey number, but for me, 44, Hayden, is the perfect number for a linebacker. To me, it screams tough guy. Everyone knows I'm from Oklahoma, and so I'm a Sooners fan from way back in the day.
Boomer, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Boomer Sooner. So Brian Bosworth wore number 44, and that was a linebacker that I followed as a kid. Also legendary players, Jim Brown wore that number in college at Syracuse. Riggins was 44 for Washington. What is the Hayden Dennis story, if there is one, with what I think is one of the tough guy jersey numbers, number 44?
They gave it to me in the San Antonio All-Star game, and I kind of liked it. And then I guess 2016, when I had to choose a number, my high school number wasn't there. And I was like, 44 would be a good number, because one of the most inspirational coaches I've ever had in high school was his name was Coach Fofo. That's what we call him, because he ran a 4.4. I like it, so I mean that's about the only story I got behind it.
And it stuck. Well, it looks great on the field, and it just fits. So I've talked about 2019, and now I'm gonna read off a few numbers that are pretty staggering. You had quite a comeback season in your junior year, led WT in tackles with 118, named an all LSC honorable mention, 11th in the nation in tackles last season. And one of the games was incredible, Hayden, against Western New Mexico. You recorded 15 tackles by yourself. When you look back at last season, two things: your individual play, but also the play of the Buffaloes as a team. What do you credit the success that you and your teammates had last year?
I mean, it's all scheme. Coaches, we have a great scheme, and Coach Morris, they really call some great plays. I mean, all my success is just the position I'm in. D-line's doing the work, safety's doing the work. So, I mean, game by game, it really just comes down to how everybody does their job. And my job, I was just able to make a little bit more plays, I guess. Mm-hmm. But we had a great D-line this year with Jared Johnson, Jalen Hill, Joseph Bradkey, Dylan Mata. And, I mean, if you have a good D-line, a linebacker's life's pretty easy.
Yeah.
And the outside linebackers like Frank and Eric made it easy as well, because, I mean, they're freak athletes, and kind of just helps us slow guys a little bit. But
we might have to start calling West Texas A&M linebacker U, because you just talked about it. Some fellow teammates from last year. Frank Honang was second team All-Region, first team All-LSC. You guys together got the nickname the Bash Brothers. So fun to watch, you and Frank the Tank. But then you also have players like Eric Collins, who had a great season last year. Chris Thomas comes back. Joseph Barron had a great season last year. Going back all the way since I've been doing this, Hayden, the names like Trevor Michael Bust, Carter James, and now you are one of those guys that's being mentioned in the great group of linebackers.
I mean, our defense requires some good linebackers, and requires a lot of them. And Trevor Michael Bust and Carter James were top-notch linebackers and great people to learn under. And it's just part of our position. It's what we have to do. And we keep recruiting them, and Coach Hughes is going to keep building them, and Coach Morris is going to keep building them. So it's just exciting times.
Coach Hughes, being a defensive-minded guy, loves for his linebackers to be making plays. He wants the mean, athletic tackling machines, so to speak. What has it been like for you, Hayden, to play for Coach Hughes as you've been here, since he started here, and every year it's gotten better and better.
You learn a lot. He's probably one of the smartest people I know when it comes to defense. And so you learn a lot more than you ever thought you'd ever learn about football. And I think he expects everybody to just do your job. And so it kind of, as a linebacker, that's all you want to do is do your job to impress them.
All right, Hayden, it is time for some fun quarantine Q&A. During this downtime, when it's not as much football, maybe it's not as much the workouts and things like that keeping you busy, what have been some things that you've been able to do that you enjoy?
I guess when I was back home, I'd like to go just read, sit in the river and read. And so since I got here, I don't know, I've kind of gone to the driving range a couple times, work on my golf game, even though it doesn't seem to be getting too much better.
Linebacker that plays golf. Very nice. Very nice.
Definitely not the best one, though. Dylan Brunson is probably the best golfer out of the players, no doubt.
Okay. I also hear that you are, like myself, a Dallas Cowboys fan,
Right.
which is a blessing and a curse at the same time. And obviously, the draft was recently, and again, being a Sooners fan, it was like Christmas. Got CeeDee Lamb in the first round to the Cowboys. What are your expectations for Dallas this coming season?
Oh, Super Bowl all the way. Always. But, I mean, CeeDee Lamb's a great pick. I mean, they're giving him the number 88, which I hope he earns it and he deserves it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they also picked up Diggs from Alabama, and I think he's going to be a great choice.
I need the Cowboys to start winning because I'm telling you, the abuse that I take from my 9-year-old son who does not cheer for the Cowboys, it's getting pretty bad. So I need that to change, and I need it to change soon. Favorite TV series for you, or movie or something right now that maybe you're getting to watch a little bit during this downtime?
Well, right now I'm watching The Walking Dead because I felt like it kind of fit. But favorite TV series is going to be Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back to yeah, very nice. Back to The Walking Dead because I like that show as well. Rick or Negan?
Well, Rick.
There you go, the good guy.
Yeah.
Cool. I thought maybe being the linebacker, you might go with Negan, but
he's good, but he's messed up, dude.
He's pretty bad. Hayden, video games. I've talked Madden with Tobias and also with Eric Collins. I hear that you are a big fan of a video game that could be coming back soon, which is NCAA football. I'm hoping that they bring NCAA football back. Okay, so let's say this: if the Buffs were on an NCAA football game, here's a rating or an attribute that I would throw in if I was creating the game is trash talking ability. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what I want to know, I've talked to Tobias. I know some of these defensive players that they like to run their mouth a little bit in friendly competition, sometimes in practice or in the games. But who are some offensive players? These skill guys, the pretty boys, Hayden, that you go against on the daily that would have a very high trash talk rating on NCAA football?
Whoa. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if any of our offensive players got that trash talking ability. It's kind of weak. I know a receiver's trash talking game is pretty weak. They try. They sure do try, especially in practice.
These offensive linemen don't ever try to give it to you a little bit?
No, their talk's pretty funny. Chris Johnson, he'll give me a hard time out there. Coach Bassett, if we're gonna go offense, he's probably the top trash talker during practice, at least to me. But player-wise,
Max Perez?
He's not too loud. Gerber or Chris Johnson probably says the most, at least to me. And those receivers, I'm not even going to acknowledge it.
Okay. All right. So you can tell you're ready to get back right now.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I mean, what is 2020 going to look like for West Texas A&M out on the football field?
We're going to win a lot more. That's about all you can say. 8-3 was good, but not good enough. And we'll go out there and we'll try to clean up those other three. So
That's what I'm looking forward to. I feel like you guys are ready to finally get over that hump and make it to the playoffs. And then I think once you can get into the playoffs, anything can happen. All right. Hayden, thanks so much for joining me. It was great to see you. And hopefully we will see you soon out on the football field.
Thanks for having me.
All right. That's Hayden Dennis, everyone. Thanks for watching this episode of Football Friday with the Buffs. Everybody have a safe weekend. And as always, go Buffs.
Go Buffs.